Hi, I'm Tolga, and I'm here with Amir today. Amir, I want to talk about IoT use cases for sort of real-time and batch analytics. Can you talk about what the differences are?
Sure. So we all know that IoT is focused around getting data. So the different scenarios are, how do you react to that data? Do you do it as the data is coming in, or do you save it and look at it later and make some analysis and gain some knowledge about it that way?
What would be some examples of like real-time and batch use cases?
So a real-time use case is pretty simple. So imagine you have a bunch of tanks deployed around your facility, and these tanks are depleted by your employees on a day-to-day basis. So real-time would be to be notified once a tank gets to a certain level that you need to send out someone to fill that up, right? You want to know about that when it gets to a certain threshold and dispatch someone immediately.
Right.
A batch scenario would be more that you want to understand over long-term how these tanks are utilized. You may make some staffing decisions around how many people to have to fill that demand, or you might add additional tanks, you might buy bigger tanks. In that sense, you're looking at data over time and making some decisions that aren't in the moment.
Nice, and those could be either kind of algorithmic or AI-based decisions.
Right, exactly. So you're looking at simple trends and making decisions that way, or there might be a lot of other factors that you can put in, other variables that you might feed into a machine learning model to give you insight that you might not otherwise know.
Awesome. And so what are the tools and technologies in AWS that we would use for the real-time use case, for example?
Well, it always starts with IoT Core, right? So that's your message broker. That's where the data is going to come in. From there, we typically route that data to Kinesis. That's going to give you a durable buffer to take that data and allow you to invoke either Lambdas or other consumers of that data to react to it. So you're basically going to look at that data as it comes in real time and make a decision based on that.
And then for the batch, do we use different tools for batch workloads?
Yeah, so batching will typically, that's where your data lakes are going to come into play, right? So typically, again, you'll start with IoT Core, but then you'll route to something like Kinesis Firehose. You'll write that data to, say, S3, and then you'll have either Spark Job, EMR, or ideally use something like SageMaker to then look at that data in batch and build some models and build some analytics out of it.
So for customers that we've been helping recently, do you normally see one or the other, or do these things get used together?
They're almost always used together, and it's pretty typical for the batch data to feed in the real time. So a common use case is that you'll have that batch data, you'll do some analysis on it, you'll build some models, and based on that, then as you get real-time data, you'll invoke those models and do some inference on that to decide how to react.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Amir.